904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air. High school football is finally back with the first game of the week tomorrow night. The Bulls Bulldogs head south to take on Monarch in the Broward County Football Showcase at 8 p.m., led by first-year starting quarterback Jaden Weatherly. Catch the game on the 1010XL stream. It's 89 degrees at 2 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
Just your average Wednesday where, we're doing the show and then going home and hanging out with our families. Oh, wait, that's not what's happening at all. We are heading to Las Vegas, one of the cities that never sleeps. I know that's the destination for a lot of people, for the designation is what I'm looking for New York. But I feel like that can apply to Vegas as well. But Tom and Taylor, we have to start the show with some breaking news that comes with the Jacksonville Jaguars. They've waived wide receiver Josh Cephas with an injury designation. So a guy that flashed a lot in training camp. Yeah. But obviously he got injured in this most recent preseason game against the Saints.
So they release him. If he gets healthy, he can try out again with somebody, maybe not them, as opposed to throwing him on IR right now, right, to protect him. So there's something there. They don't want to keep him, on IR, let him out. Maybe they give him an injury settlement, opens the doors for the other wide receivers, maybe makes their decision between Irwin and Trammell a little bit easier. You know what I mean? For number 5 and number 6, I don't know, but listen, hopefully he did flash, and man, he could get deep too. I like that he could run. He had a couple plays early in camp, especially that he showed that he could get down that field, and Trevor had some nice chemistry with him for a little bit. He did fall off a little, I guess, the injury,
And special teams, I'm not sure how much of a contributor he was.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, I don't know if he was, if he's going to be on that kickoff team. He's not going to return. They know who the returner guys are, so I don't think he's a gunner. They've got their gunners. Where is he going to be? Fitting in. But this is the time of camp that these decisions have to be made. They're hard. I'm sure they all love him. They're attached to him. They want nothing but the best for him. But this is what they have to do for the organization at this time.
Yeah, it did kind of feel like, for me, it was Brian Thomas Jr., Dyami Brown, Travis Hunter, Parker Washington, and Cephas. And then the last, if they keep 6, was between Trammell and Irwin. But now maybe both those guys slide in to that spot. It'll be interesting. I know a lot of people really like Eli Pancol, so maybe this puts him in the mix a little bit. I know there's not much time left to see, but you've got a joint practice coming up. I keep saying practices.
Well, we normally have
multiple. Yeah. There's one joint practice coming up, a game that you will see guys like that playing because, not seeing the starters out there, those guys will get more time. So maybe you see something there. It's a bummer, though, because I do think that you've seen flashes of Cephas, and when you talk about the comfortability, too, that you have seen between him and Trevor throughout camp this year. And there was last year, too. I remember going back to early last year, the same conversations. It fizzled out again, which when somebody like Brian Thomas Jr. starts to do what he was doing later into camp in the preseason, then, it kind of got overshadowed. But it's a bummer for Cephas because I really do think he earned a spot on the roster up until now.
Yeah, we wish him the best. Never know where that path is going to go with the NFL, and hopefully he can get healthy. And you never know what happens with the wide receiver room here in Jacksonville. You just never can tell.
But he played after that. He went down in that preseason game. Yeah. And then he played again in the game on Sunday. So that's why I thought, all right, well, he's perfectly fine. But
hopefully that didn't make it worse.
Yeah, maybe it's just, maybe he aggravated it or something, to where he can't
and he didn't practice today, I know for sure. I didn't get to go out there packing and everything. But
Did they say what? They just said injury.
Just injury, During the preseason, they don't allow us give us that information. Yep. But look, I do think that we are going to see them have to make some of these difficult decisions. And certainly when someone's injured, it gives them a little bit easier of an out. But to your point, Tom, if they thought that he was going to contribute at any point in time this season, I think they would have placed him on injured reserve.
Yeah, at least to protect him for a little bit, not send him out there and, anybody can grab him at a certain point. But look, you look at Trammell. He's the backup punt returner. We've seen that. He's flashed. He seems to flash. I feel like he's been there for 5 years. I know he hasn't, but he flashes in practice a lot. Irwin's kind of one of their guys, and he's flashed. I mean, him and Mullins have a chemistry. You know, now you're not sitting there going, well, I'm keeping him for that. No. But if things break down and Nick Mullins got to play,
he has the guy.
In there. He's got a guy that he can go to and feel comfortable with. And then, of course, Irwin's special team guy. I think he can play more than just gunner, or, he can get inside on those punt teams and break out and go down the field on the coverage units and whatnot. So I think it just moves those guys up. But, yeah, Pancol, he's intriguing because I think he can play special teams. He don't have to be a gunner. He can play pretty much anywhere around on that line. I think he's a physical guy. They seem to like him, for at least from watching, throughout camp. I don't think anybody else is really, pushing for, to move up.
Yeah.
I thought Singer would, but he didn't. Yeah. He didn't really.
There was like a day at camp where you're like, maybe we'll start to see something from him, and that was about it.
And that was just that one.
The same with Cam Camper. I think there was like the day or two where you kind of felt like there was something there.
Yeah. The people who tweet out every play, the live tweeting, they'll say like, "Wow, today is Singer's day."
Yeah,
right.
And so that's when people are like, "Oh, well, maybe this player does have an opportunity to make this roster." But obviously, the team is evaluating, the coaching staff is evaluating them every single practice, not just one.
Absolutely. It's a collective body of work, and practice is practice, and, combined joints are joints, and we're going to get into that, and then games are games, so it's part of the process. So, again, we wish Joshua well. Hopefully he can bounce back, land on his feet, and continue his NFL career. And, of course, the Jags make these decisions because they feel it betters their team and betters their position and puts their organization in, in the spot that they feel it needs to be in right now. So, and it gives these other guys opportunities. So here we go down to the wire. You telling me those guys aren't feeling it? Panco's probably like, oh my gosh, out of my mind. Everyone's calling him, going, what do you think? You're gonna make it? You gonna make it? I don't know. Leave me alone.
Don't call me.
Yeah, I got a full week.
Do not disturb on my phone.
Exactly. But a big week for guys like that,
Definitely.
which is exciting, but at the same time, I'm sure very stressful for all his close friends and family and the players themselves.
Just like leading up to the draft, too. Unless you're going in the top 4 rounds, top 5 rounds, then the rest of that draft process is very precarious and very nervous, energies for everyone, because you literally are waiting with your phone, not on Do Not Disturb. You're waiting and hoping, but if
you're like making sure your service is working.
Right. It's like, how many bars do I have? I'm sure that was Shedeur Sanders. But there's other guys that think they're going to get drafted. Go back to a guy we talked about that's still on this roster that went undrafted in 2019, Dewey Wingard. Like, you always think you're going to get drafted. That's what, of course, your agent's telling you. Like, it may not be until the 6th or 7th round, but yes, you're going to get selected. And then if your phone never rings, then you have to figure out where you want to go. You and your agent figure that part out.
Yeah, well, and not too far back, but 7th rounders, they didn't make that much more than rookie free agents, and now it's kind of even. And as far as the coaches look at it, an undrafted free agent 7th rounder, they're kind of the same. You might have $25,000 invested in somebody, maybe something like that, but
it's not.
But the undrafted gets to pick where they go too.
Yeah, exactly.
So sometimes I've heard people have conversations that you want to say I've been drafted to the NFL, but in the same light, if you're a 7th rounder and an undrafted free agent, then sometimes you and your agent gets to pick where you think fits you best, which is a benefit for some.
Patrick Herbert, the tight end, he chose Jacksonville. He went undrafted. And I remember wondering, like, why wouldn't he have chosen Los Angeles and go where Justin is? But the tight end depth there, or tight end battle there, was going to be more difficult than the tight end battle here. So he chose here. I'm not sure that he's going to make this team either, but he thought that the path to starting or at least making the roster was better in Jacksonville.
That's one position on this team, tight end, man. You go past the 3 guys, the Montlong and Strange, right? The guys behind are good players.
Quentin
Morris.
Yep.
Quentin Morris, Copenhaver, he's number 43.
Yep.
I think that's how you pronounce his name. Herbert, we just saw him. Bowman, right? I mean, these guys look like they can play some ball. And, and not that they're going to make the team. I'm not saying that, but.
Are you saying tight end is your favorite position, like it's Taylor and I's favorite position in the NFL? No. Of course. As a former linebacker, it can't be. No, I always make that joke because girls, I feel like, fall in love with football because of tight ends.
Right.
Yeah, I'm definitely more of like I'm definitely more of a DB girl. Like I've always liked the defensive back has always been my favorite position.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you what mine was other than Mike linebacker. It was pass rush would be the best. That would be the most fun, I think, out there.
Yeah.
But I can see corner, one-on-one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're really playing man, really playing, hey, I got this guy, he's mine all game long, that's got to be an unbelievable, competition.
Yeah.
But that's what pass rushing is.
Yeah.
Pretty much every time you're rushing a passer, it's that one-on-one, and trying to figure it out. There's a chess match. And, you hear about guys writing down, they got ledgers of guys they go against and their moves, what worked, didn't work. Really intricate, kind of interesting. You know what I mean? And they go back and they study those things. And like, hey, last time I remember I leaned this, or I did this, or I did a spin or different move and I got him, or he caught me on this, or you know what I mean? But it's funny. When do they wite them down? That's
what those tablets are for.
Now we have
Nowadays,
the notes, right? Just get out your phone notes. Hang on a second, guys. All right. But,
his tendency was, but that does help them, from moving forward. I don't know what my favorite position is. I mean, I could literally go through them all and give you reasons other than maybe like interior offensive line. That's probably not my favorite, but probably not long snapper. Outside of Ross Matisic. Outside of that, I could probably give you an argument for them all.
It depends if you're like a real big mauler, like a Larry Allen. That must have been fun throwing guys around. You know what I mean? Like just top of the food chain.
Right. But most of the time, people don't know the guards.
Yeah. The older I've gotten, the more I respect the offensive linemen, because I think when you first get it, when you're young, first getting into football, you're just kind of, you like the wide receivers and the corners and the running backs and maybe quarterbacks, not on the teams that I've cheered for. But
Jay Cutler, come on.
I do love Jay Cutler. But then once you get older, you realize when you talk about the trenches and how important that is, and then you get to see the more, especially when you cover a team, you get to see more of the personalities of the linemen too. And you're like, these are guys who a lot of time are just like kind of goofy, funny, but then they're mean when they get on the field. And I love that. I love that they can flip that switch and kind of just become those Mauler type guys.
They're the best kind of any position. Mean on the field, gentlemen off the field. You should be all the way down to Pop Warner. That's how it should be, right? So
love it.
No doubt about that. And we hope this old line's going to turn into that nasty old line. I think you can see a little bit of it happening. I saw it in Ezra. I saw Hainsey. I told you he was being pretty scrappy on Sunday, and I think the other guys got it in him too. I don't know if I said this last week, but Walker Little did this really violent move on Devin Lloyd in a pass. It was on team, and it was kind of like, it looked like it was just going to be a screen to the other side. So it was just kind of like getting him out of the way, but he kind of whipped him, and I was like, wow.
You're like, it's there somewhere.
Wait a minute.
It's there somewhere.
Where did that come from? So maybe he's starting to come around too. But
I would love to read that tomorrow from the joint practice. Against Miami.
They're tossing guys.
Whether it's Walker Little or Anton Harrison or those interior guys, absolutely. All right, we've got more Jaguars to discuss, and Tommy's takeaways come your way next. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
He's our big hitter.
I'm Jaguars Today's middle linebacker, Tom McManus.
He tackles Jags talk from a middle linebacker's point of view. Fridays on 1010XL. Protected by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, fellow Floridians, it's Ben.
And Brianna Smith. We are foodies who love sharing recipes online.
And trying new cooking techniques on our new natural gas stove.
He loves his precise temperature control on the heat.
Yeah, I also love saving money and using less energy.
Oh, watch that flame.
So, who loves to be in control?
Now earn up to a $300 cashback rebate for installing a new energy-efficient natural gas range or stovetop. To learn more, go to peoplesgas.com/rebates.
Yo, E.T. here, and I need you to beat the heat this summer with cool escapes and non-stop fun in Clay County. Tackle indoor adventures head-on. Throw axes at Live by Axe or smash your stress away at Just Smash That. Then kick back with drinks, good food, and fandom vibes at Nakama Anime Bar or Leaderboard Arcade and Bar. Whether you're blowing off steam or just looking to chill, Clay County got your perfect indoor getaway. Find your cool at exploreclay.com. That's exploreclay.com.
Hey, Jax is more than a city, beaches, suburbs, or a destination. We are a community that actually cares about one another. Hey, this is Tom McManus, former Jag. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling is dedicated to serving you with respect and integrity. We haul construction debris or property cleanouts for managers, owners, and realtors. We do it all. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We're here for you. We're veteran-owned and operated, and we are J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
1010XL and Channel 4 are partnering to bring you more high school football coverage than ever before. Check out our live streaming show on the multimedia platforms for both 1010XL and Channel 4 as games are happening live, debuting August 22nd, presented by Farah and Farah.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
I-9 Sports covers the First Coast with all kinds of sports for kids ages 3 to 17. Fall and winter registration is open right now, like girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of co-ed programs in the Tri-County area to keep your kids active. And being part of a team creates great camaraderie and commitment. Year-round sports all across the First Coast. St. John's, Duval, and Clay, sign up now for the fall and winter. It's all at i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. That's i9sports.com.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's The Mangler.
Upgrade her diamond ring this summer with no money down and 0 interest for 5 years. Don't miss this killer offer from Beards Diamonds. 5 years, 0 interest financing till the year 2030. Not just on engagement rings, also on earrings, bracelets, bands, colored gemstone jewelry. Buy now and pay nothing down and spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. So that $5,000 gift comes out to just $85 a month. Beards Diamonds is Jacksonville's locally owned source for exquisite jewelry. We can do things the big corporate jewelers can only dream of, like lowering interest rates all the way down to 0. All GIA certified diamonds are included in this. Rounds, princess cuts, ovals, pear shapes, cushion cuts, emerald cuts. Whether you get a $5,000 diamond or a $50,000 diamond, you can spread your payments over 5 whole years. Get the Beards Diamonds unbeatable price. Pay 0 down and spread your payments over 5 years. But hurry, this is a limited time offer that ends August 31st and will not be extended. Beards Diamonds, St. John's Town Center. Shop local. Shop Beards. Unapproved credits and restrictions apply. See store for details.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. I'm going to ask each of you a question, including you, RJ. Do you make a playlist for a road trip or a plane trip, however you're going to be traveling? Do you make a new playlist for every time you take a trip?
I do not. But I have so many playlists that I already have. And I have my main playlist that is just kind of everything, just all sorts of different crazy everything I listen to.
Crazy everything.
That there's no rhyme or reason. It's just I'll just add things
the eclectic
to it.
Playlist.
Yeah, and so that's kind of more when I'm just cleaning the house or whatever, and because it will go through everything. But then I do have separate for like slower, sad music vibes, hype vibes, like rock vibes, rap, like whatever. So I already have so many playlists that I don't really have to do that. But I will for like certain parties and stuff, you know, like if I'm having like a birthday party or a friend's birthday party, or if we're doing 4th of July, like I'll make playlists for those events, but not for traveling.
All right. Got it, Tom?
Yeah, no, but I have like 5 playlists I probably use, you know, overall. I've got one that's titled Hustle. That's either when I'm lifting or running.
Right.
You know, it's all upbeat.
I was hoping that's
music.
what that was for.
I got the Dad Bod set list, which is,
very nice.
all of our songs, which there's probably 60 deep, so I got that one. I've got songs I want to sing, which are more acoustic kind of things.
I like that.
I like that. What else do I have? I'll just go to songs because all my families, like the girls and my wife, I think all their songs are on there. So I'll go to songs and just hit shuffle.
Oh, yeah.
Now, a lot of times I got to fast forward a lot of them. I don't know what they are, who's singing them or whatever. But I get a nice, long, sometimes like 5 in a row that are great. And they're great. So, yeah, but I don't have other than that, I don't have multiple.
Right. You don't spend hours and hours creating a new playlist for every single thing, which some people do. RJ, what about you?
No. Normally, what I'll do is just albums in which I liked. And
albums? You're a true old soul.
Yeah, so I'll just, I'll look on, YouTube or something, put in the aux cord, and if, the whole album is on YouTube of a particular artist, I'll just listen to that, the entire way. If I'm doing a road trip, I did that in Houston a couple of times when we had to go to Lake Charles for remotes. I would just say, okay, what's an album I'm feeling this time around, and I'd say, oh, okay, I'll just play this one and just kind of let it play. And if I sing to it, I sing to it. If I don't, I don't, because normally it's just move faster.
And I think playlists are important to get to your point, both of you, all of you, the vibe that you want for whatever it is you're experiencing. So I'll do a playlist, when we go on vacation, I'll usually do a playlist for that, especially based off of who's going.
Yeah.
My dad doesn't live country, so I got to make sure that there's basically a playlist without country music, but stuff that everybody likes. And then I have to factor in okay, my parents like these songs, but Brian doesn't like those songs, and then it becomes a whole thing. And obviously I asked this question because we are flying out in a few hours, and so I was just curious what the music would be. And then, Tom, go ahead.
I thought you didn't you say that you'd like talking the whole time?
Lauren is a talker.
I do like to talk the whole time, but I plan in advance to have music, obviously, that I want to listen to. With Spotify, you have to download your music because you have to normally connect to the internet.
I noticed we're sitting in the same row to Vegas from Atlanta, together.
All three of us?
Yeah, that's what it looks like on the.
I thought we intentionally put.
I'm behind you in the Atlanta trip, but from Atlanta, it's us three in a row.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Well, don't worry. I take
take
social cues very well. I am self-aware that if someone puts their earbuds in, I don't just keep talking.
I fall asleep before the plane takes off most times, and I didn't last time because Lauren was talking a lot.
It helps calm my nerves.
Okay.
Either way. All right, time now for Tom's takeaways.
Tommy's Takeaways. Jacked up by J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling. Call 506-1256 for your free estimate today. We are here for you. Veteran owned and operated.
All right, my takeaway today goes directly on rookie center Jonah Monheim. Congratulations for moving up the depth chart. You are now center number 2. Of course, they sent Luke Fortner to New Orleans. They don't do that without knowing that you are ready to take over that position when called upon. You've shown that you can play guard. I think it's phenomenal that a 7th-round pick. I know people out there, it's USC. Listen, he still had to impress the brass in order for them to do any of this. So he's my takeaway. Congratulations, young man. I like the way you play the game, and that's what goes to show you. It doesn't matter where you drafted or where you started. It matters where you finish, and it looks like he's got a good spot on this football team. My takeaway is brought to you by J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling.
I don't even like asking this question, but in the event that Robert Hainsey had to step out of a game, I'll phrase it like that instead of using the I word, who do you think goes in next? Do you think it is Jonah Monheim as the backup center, or do you think it would be Patrick McCary because he has played center in the NFL before and has that versatility?
I could see you, that's a great point, but he hasn't been practicing center, so the line calls, the center, they do a lot more than just snap, as you know, right? They do the more just snap and then block. They're calling out protections. They're calling out run schemes. They're calling out a lot of different things. So I would think they go with Monheim because he's running that second unit, especially now. He's the second string center. Every time they go out, anytime Hainsey needs a break, he's going to go in there. And I wouldn't be surprised if they, give him just reps to get used to it even more, just in case.
It's just it's interesting because he is, to your point, he's a rookie.
He's a rookie.
Robert Hainsey is super familiar with Liam Cohen's offense. Luke Fortner was a little bit more familiar because he did work with Liam Cohen once upon a time at Kentucky, although that's different.
Yeah.
And Jonah Monheim, again, has never played a snap in the NFL yet outside of preseason. So that's why I just wonder certainly the drop-off as far as knowledge-wise is there, but I would imagine Jonah Monheim physically is a better center than Patrick McCary.
Yeah, it is a good question because McCary started at center with the Ravens when he first got to Baltimore, and he played several in 2019 and 2020. Granted, it's been a while. After that time, he kind of moved around and didn't play as much center after the 2020 season, so that was 5 years ago. So to that point, I feel like you lean on Monheim because you brought him in specifically for that position. But I also feel like if he gets hurt, if we're talking about Hainsey getting hurt, then they're probably trying both of those that week and seeing who looks more comfortable. Yep. But so that honestly, I feel like that's a good problem to have though, is somebody who has experience at that position in the NFL, and then someone who you specifically brought in to play that position.
Yeah, and Monheim can play guard.
Yeah.
So if you feel more comfortable with McCary at center, then okay, Jonah, you play guard and you'll work well together. And I just think he's done a nice job really standing out, when his time has been called to go out there and compete. So hats off to him. I'm looking forward to seeing Colvan Lannon. Lannon. I like Colvan Lannon. Like a Viking, just like this mean mountain man ready to block you.
It's easy to remember for me because at one point in time, Cole Van Lannon got pushed completely back and landed right on his rear end. And so
he'd be landing on his rear.
Hayes called him Cole Van Land on his back. And so I remember that specifically. So that's how it's always easy for me to remember Cole Van Lannon. But yeah, it's
He's
crazy
player,
to me.
man.
It is August 20th, and I don't know who the starting five is. And that's okay for the offensive line. I'm not saying that that's a problem that I don't know. Hopefully they know.
Yeah.
But I am not sure that they today have the information. I feel like they're still weighing that data.
Go ahead.
No,
you
Tommy.
go.
It's just funny because going back to OTAs, I remember the conversation was like, we've seen pretty much all of the five. And I was like, I would put money down that it's going to be different once camp comes. They're going to start mixing these bodies around and figuring out the best five. And I think OTAs was like the most basic form of just like, let's get you conditioned and like get that side of thing. And the five that look like we paid you and whatever the case may be, or already had contracts, are the guys we're going to see in OTAs, and then we'll shift things up. And that's exactly what's happened. They had those guys in OTAs that they paid in free agency and already had contracts, and then now you've seen them all kind of mix up and play different positions, which I'm fine with because I have been very hesitant on the offensive line, and I've been very vocal about that. So I think keep trying until you figure out the five that you have, but you do need to, you're getting to the point now where you really do have to figure this out because you don't want to still be questioning that when you're starting week one.
I think it'll be this week, at least by the time you're done with Miami, they'll name it. But, listen, Liam said another comment about Anton the other day. He's like, we didn't miss, he went out there and we didn't miss a beat. And you're like, oh my gosh, he's not afraid to throw those shing, but, it was true. Fred played pretty good at right tackle. He showed that maybe he can hold the fort down on that side. At least it keeps him in the conversation.
For sure. Fred Johnson, to me, is on this roster 100%.
Oh, yeah.
We had conversations months ago about Fred Johnson potentially pushing Walker Little, and some people thought that was laughable. And
I did.
I'm not sure that it was laughable at that point in time because I think there was a true competition. I just think Walker Little beat Fred Johnson. I just don't know if Walker Little has truly won the left tackle position at this point in time.
Yeah, I always thought it was more a shot at Walker Little than it was a compliment to Fred Johnson. And that's what worried me the whole time, is because I didn't think Fred Johnson was a starting left tackle in the NFL. I thought that a lot of people that were saying that were more worried about Walker Little. So they were saying there's a chance that he may get beaten out because he's not very good either. And so we will see what it looks like it looks like it's leaning towards Walker Little at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if in 4, 5, 6 weeks into the season, if we see some changes, if it's not going the way they want. But at this point, from what I've seen, I would think Walker would be the best that's been out there, at least consistently the best.
Yeah, he's been number one the whole time for the most part. And I think Fred is a better right tackle. And that's okay. Whatever. Put him wherever he can he can be his best at. But I do think he's better at a right tackle. I think he's more of a mauler. You got to have a little of that, that ballerina in you. He's athletic and he's a really big guy. I'm not saying that, but I think he's just better suited for that right side. And as far as Walker Little, there's really nobody pushing him for that job. Yeah. I mean, we could say Anton, but Anton's never over there. Maybe, they would get him over there. Maybe this week they're going to get him over there. I don't know.
Anton hasn't even solidified his right side.
No, he hasn't. Right. So, look, they still have work to do. I don't feel that concerned about it because, and I know it wasn't all their starters. I just felt like last week or Sunday that O-line that started was
did a
pretty
job
good. Yeah,
against
they were
backups on a bad team.
Yeah, well, the nose tackle wasn't a backup, right? Our new guy, Colin, he was out there playing nose. Yeah, there's a couple guys, but the majority were backups. Yeah. But still, I thought they performed pretty well for an offensive line. We're like, oh, here's a kind of a hodgepodge. They're putting it together, but it looks like it kind of worked out a little bit.
Yeah, I do wonder, would they have loved to see Anton Harrison push himself and get to the point where he was able to push Walker and have that be the battle of Walker versus Anton?
Yeah.
And then without Wyatt Milam practicing this week, it's hard to know where he factors into all of this too, what their vision is for him. But it's been a maligned offensive line as far as whether it's fans, media, what have you. Certainly Liam Cohen talking about Anton. So at the end of the day, he's going to be honest, and at least that's the good news, is we'll know how he's feeling about this.
Yeah, we won't have to guess how Liam feels about it.
And look, we don't mention Adoga, but before his injury, we were talking about him all the time.
I still wonder if he's starting.
Five.
Like I still wonder if he wins the right guard job, and maybe Patrick McCary ends up being the right tackle, and he beats out Anton.
Maybe.
And then Anton goes to left.
And then Walker keeps off Anton.
And then nobody's starting except for Ezra and Hainsey, where we thought they were going to start.
Is it musical chairs where you keep taking a chair out and you got to keep walking, going in a circle?
It was the last one standing.
Right. It feels
probably
like
Ezra
Walker Little will be the left tackle, Ezra Cleveland will be the left guard, Robert Hainsey will be the center, and then I'm
right
not
side
100% sure. Yeah. But
if it was today, I agree.
Yeah,
totally.
and then I don't know how that right side will shake out. But yes, we have more practices to go. The one in Miami against the Dolphins tomorrow for sure, and then of course the preseason game on Saturday. We still don't know if starters are playing, so we'll
and then we
find
have
out.
cuts next Tuesday. The first round of cuts due at 4 by next Tuesday.
Yes. So they have to get busy this weekend. We, meanwhile,
a lot of work to do.
We, meanwhile, just have to go to Vegas and work really hard from there. All right. We have 3 pairs of tickets to give away to a really fun concert that's upcoming with Lee Bryce. Our first pair to give away is on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels. Keep it right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I'm Frank Frange, and you've heard me tell you how much success my daughter Amber is having with the Awaken 180 weight loss program. But Amber, maybe it's time you should tell them.
I think they'd rather hear from you, Dad. You're the radio guy.
Yeah, but in this case, you're the one doing all the work.
But that's the thing, Dad. It doesn't feel like work. The food is great. I never feel hungry. My coach, Mary, is so good, so encouraging. If you follow the plan, Awaken 180 really works.
Well, everyone I know that's tried it has said the same thing. The result is people not only look better, but they feel better. I've kind of known you your whole life, and I can tell you feel great.
I feel better than I have in years. I love that part. I feel so good. I have Awaken 180 to thank for that.
So you heard it from my kid, and you can feel great too. Just call 1-844-346-1800. That's 1-844-346-1800, or visit awaken180weightloss.com and start your transformation today.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
Hello, Jacksonville. This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we know not every injury happens on Sundays. Sometimes it's flag football, weekend yard work, or just playing with your kids. That's why we built a team of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons, experts in everything from knees and shoulders to spine and sports injuries. Whether you're chasing championships or chasing your dog, we've got you. Learn more at osjax.com. That's osjax.com.
Chelsea here from Renewal by Anderson. You've seen and heard our ads where I talk about Renewal by Anderson's exclusive Fiberx material, twice as strong as vinyl, incredibly energy efficient, and custom built to fit your home perfectly. But if you haven't reached out yet, August only, Renewal by Anderson is offering triple savings. $300 off every window, $825 off every patio door, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Schedule your free consultation today at bestwindowsflorida.com. License number CGC 1527613.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden Eye & Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Coliber lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision, no hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit Bowden.com for a free screening. Bowden Associates, keeping the first coast focused.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, visit AA Automotive on Richard Street. For oil changes to complex repairs, AA Automotive is a full-service repair shop for personal and commercial fleet vehicles. Trust AA to keep your ride running A-OK.
If life blindsided you tomorrow, would your family struggle? I'm Cody with Harborstone Financial, and I can help. One call could protect your family for life. 904-885-9566. Harborstone Financial.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise in towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Are you one of them girls that peels off the Bud Light label? Just might run the pool table. Roll your eyes if I call you an angel.
I am not one of the girls that will run the pool table.
Oh, me either.
I know that tune.
It's like
Oh, yeah.
I actually, I didn't know this was him. This is one of the countries where I was like, I know him, but I have to listen, and then it clicks. Yeah, I like
That's a great song.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
This is one of them
do not
girls.
invite me to play pool.
Oh, I love playing pool.
My
Yeah,
ball
pool's great.
somehow ends up off the table.
Yeah.
I'm not good
That can
at it,
happen.
but it's fun to play. But yeah, this is Lee Bryce, and like I mentioned, we have 3 pairs of tickets to go see Lee. He is coming to town September 13th, and you can win the pair of tickets right now if you're caller number 4. It's 641-1010, caller number 4. He is playing at the St. Augustine Amphitheater down there at the Amp, and the opener is Ashley Cook. She's also really good. So if you love Lee Bryce, make sure you get your tickets right now. The tickets are on sale at AXS.com. I think it's been about a year since the Amp switched from Ticketmaster over to AXX.
Okay.
It's a great platform, super easy to use. So yeah, you can get your tickets now if you don't win one of our 3 pairs. But we do have 2 more pairs coming up. That show is going to be a really, really fun show. And I don't have the information in front of me exactly, but I heard that Lewis Bryce is also coming to play. My guess is that's Lee's son. So my guess is there's 2 opening acts, Lewis Bryce being one and Ashley Cook being the other. So I think
cool.
I think that would be really cool, especially if they did a song together.
Yeah. Do you know Lewis Bryce? Do you know his songs?
I don't think I do. I don't think any of them have made them like super popular.
How old is Lee Bryce? How old is he? I thought he was like in his 30s.
I think he's
I
in
guess
his
you got to
40s.
be a young kid in your 30s. Yeah. Yeah, he's good, man. He's good. We hear him in the
He's
house.
46.
Oh, he's 46 years old. How about that? Good for him. Good for him.
Let's see.
That's
Maybe they're
great.
brothers. Maybe it's not his son.
Yeah, I think he
Yeah, they're
played-
brothers, Lewis and Lee Bryce.
Have you
But
guys
still.
ever been down to like, so we go to Stewart a lot, and then we'll venture out into Jupiter.
Okay.
And there's a place called the Tiki Hut or Tiki 52 or something like that, and they'll bring in acts to sing a couple songs at their outdoor venue, and it's right on the like a canal. So they just jump on a boat and take off, you know,
that's
to
cool.
get out of
That's
Dodge.
awesome.
They come in on a boat, they take off on a boat, and I swear Lee Bryce was there one
Okay.
night when we were there. It was packed, just all get out. You couldn't even move. Once they only sang like 2 songs.
Yeah.
I'm sure this was one of them, but I can't totally remember what was going on that night. But he's good. Yeah, I like his music, man. He's got and that's a cool tune. So good. And the St. Aug Amphitheater.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Awesome. I love that place.
The sound there is great. Even in summertime when it's 95, 98 degrees, it's actually bearable because they have the giant fans in there. The flow of it actually gets a breeze, even if you're in the pit, if you're in seats. It's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, at least closer venues because it's perfect.
Yeah.
And it feels like you're going into like a totally different, I feel like, part of old Florida almost because where you park or even if you get a ride.
All the old trees and
all those live oaks that are sprawling there, and then it's super close to Anastasia State Park. So I've had friends that camped at Anastasia State Park and then walked over to the Amp and then walked back, which is really smart because obviously it's very trafficky down there. All right, Liam Cohen met with media yesterday, and I don't know if y'all heard the full minute or so soundbite. But he said a couple of things in this that I found really interesting when he was asked about how quickly in the process he can see a player, if a player has the edge that they're looking for. So obviously he harkens that to that Jaguars DNA. But listen to this full answer and tell me your thoughts. To that Jaguars DNA.
That, you know, it was obviously a mix when we went through this process. Still guys that were here, some guys that James was able to bring in from LA, and we took kind of what we call our, you know, Jaguar DNA, and basically that's so much of the information that you're receiving, whether it's from the college coaches, the GAs, QCs, player development. You go to the high schools, you get the teachers, the janitor, you get all this information, and everybody kind of gets an aggregate score based on analytics. So that gives you basically their football character. And then does that match their play style on the field? Like what does the play style match with their football and personal character? And so much of that this offseason was trying to continue to elevate that football character, how much you love and breathe and eat and sleep football. And does that match their style of play? And I think that thus far of the rookie class that we did bring in and the pro free agency class, I do believe that that was successful in that area. I can't say fully whether it's a success in terms of their production on the grass. I do believe, though, that we brought in the right type of dudes.
Talking to high school teachers and janitors, like that to me is a whole nother level of researching a player.
Oh, well, they do that for the first rounders. I don't know how deep the Jags go, but I know the
bet Gladstone does it for every
Now I know I
single
didn't get drafted. They talked to my high school math teacher. Darn
The janitor was
Why
like,
couldn't we have shut her up? Darn, I might have got in there. No, I'm just kidding. But no, this is how you build the organization. I've been saying this for you. You got to match the players with what the coach's philosophy is, right? So he's like, what is he talking about? Guys just live and breathe football and love it.
Yeah.
And that's all they want. That's their edge. They want to get better. They want to get better. You match that with a coach who that's what he's looking. That's the job of the GM. And when you match it, it becomes a beautiful thing. When it's not, like, I'll go back. I don't mean to go back, but I'll go back with Doug. Doug was more like, no, they'll police themselves. I'm not going to be over their shoulder. I'm not going to hammer them. They're going to be mature enough to do it. Well, guess what? They didn't have enough guys that Liam's just talking about. Did they? Go back. I don't have to name names, but go to that roster last year. Most of them are gone anyway. You know why they're gone. Because they didn't fit what he's looking for, and they're looking for that true love of the game where you're not going to make those mistakes, where you are going to go home and study your ass off, or you're going to go to the gym extra or do extra conditioning or whatever it takes. You know, that's what they're looking for. And and then it's got to match the play. I know that's what he's saying. Like, okay, good. We love that they love it all, and they're our kind of guy, but can they play? And if they can and they love it, now we got what we're looking for. And if you get a room full of those guys, you can be very powerful.
Yeah, I'm obviously all about building that good culture and the good people and on the field, off the field. It's interesting. It'll be interesting to follow this and how it goes, because one of the biggest question marks for some people this last offseason was they didn't do the 30-day visits, and they're like, but we talked to plenty of people, and that's kind of what he's saying in this. We talked to teachers and parents and janitors and whatever. I sometimes feel the analytical side is going a little too far, because I think there's certain things that you are going to get out of actually sitting down and having a conversation with that person that you're not going to get on a number in a sheet or talking to somebody else. But
they had scouts go to the players' hometowns, and the scouts talked to them. They just didn't bring them here, so
they
no
didn't
one
talk
could
to them.
see. Yeah,
it wasn't them talking to them. It was scouts and stuff. And so other teams are starting to do it different. We will see how in the next 5-10 years what that looks like, because it does seem like it's a newer side of not going and the coach and GM and EVPs and all of those physically talking to the people. And we have numbers for everything now, so we will see how all of that looks. But it does look, that side of it is important. The character side is important to this coaching staff, which I do think that in a lot of ways is good, because in previous times, if losing started to happen or if anybody started to not get along, it spiraled out of control because you didn't have those players that could just kind of reel things back in and be the leaders that you needed.
Yeah, listen, face-to-face is the best because you can
Sure.
read body language. But with today's technology, you can read some body language. When you ask a tough question, how does that person respond? What do they, how do they react to it?
Or you talk to them at the Senior Bowl. And
Yeah,
nobody
there's plenty
knows.
of times
Yeah.
to talk to them without question. I know for me, I would want to see when a kid. So I got a prospect, right? We know he's great. Show me the game where he struggles, and how did he act in the locker room after that struggle? Just when and maybe he came back and finished the game strong. What did he do during the game? How was he after the game? Did he blame everybody? Did he take accountability? Like, you want to know those kind of things. You want to from college. Colleges are looking at that. They want to make sure these guys that are coming in can handle that adversity. Because guess what? They're probably going to get beat at the collegiate level.
Yeah,
everybody does. You get blocked, you get sacked, you get you miss a block, you miss a catch, you miss a throw. It happens even at the NFL level. We see that, but how do you react to that? How do you come back from that? How do you respond to that? Is a big part of that culture that you want.
I want to ask you, we don't have time to get to it right now, so we'll do it on the other side. I want to ask you, though, can you be a really good football player if you don't love it? So pause that answer. We'll do that on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Every summer, there's one Saturday night you gotta be in Daytona.
Hey, boys, watch this.
The NASCAR Coke Zero Sugar 400, brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234 from Jacksonville's NASCAR station. 1010XL.
Your grandfather was stronger at 50 than you are at 40. Want to know why? His testosterone was 30% higher than yours. That's not genetics. That's modern life killing your hormones. Stress, chemicals, sitting, it's all crushing your T levels. Male Excel reverses it. Prescription testosterone, thyroid optimization, personalized to you. Over 100,000 men are already winning again. Your turn. Try MaleExcel.com. Free assessment because you deserve it. Your family deserves it.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
Yo, Jacksonville, Hickens Hype. Checkmate Coatings crushes it with floors I'd put in my own pad.
I'm Brendan with Checkmate Coatings. We coat it all. Garages, pool decks, driveways, and patios. Be the envy of your neighbors.
Rush to checkmatecoatings.com. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings. Your floor's missing piece.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 20th, 1991, Dan Marino surpasses Joe Montana as the highest paid NFL player with a 5-year extension for $25 million.
ET here, and if you've ever been injured in an accident, you have 14 days to see a doctor and protect your insurance benefits. You have the right to choose your own doctor, too. And I recommend McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation, the auto accident experts.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business. Window World, simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
Have you ever dreamed of owning a handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm? Well, now you can. Frank Frangie here for the farm at Okefenokee, just an hour north of Jacksonville and Folkestone. With only 250 cabins at full build-out, it's a rare chance to live off-grid, but not alone, in a community grounded in nature, food, and purpose. Explore trails, kayak Blackwater creeks, or harvest from your own land. Learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental, with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, 2 locations in Jacksonville.
Need or want cash? Beach's Jewelry and Pawn has cash available. Ready to buy guitars, surfboards, jewelry, firearms, tools, and especially gold. They need it all, selling or pawning. Get cash on the spot at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Smooth like butter. Hey there, Doll, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. RJ, are you going to miss us while we're gone just the next 2 days?
Yes, the standing answer is going to be yes, as there is a gun pointed behind my head. Yes!
No, absolutely not. We don't have a show on Thursday anyway, so you're really only missing seeing our face on Friday, and then we'll be back on Saturday and hanging out with everyone. We are, of course, headed to Vegas for Circa Survivor, Circa Million, and there's also Circa Grandissimo. You can enter into the first 2 with $1,000. Different rules for each one. Survivor, most people have played in some sort of NFL Survivor pool. You have to be the last one standing. You can win up to $15 million, and then Circa Million, you pick 5 games against the spread each week. And if you're the last one standing, you can win up to $6 million. So you can in turn to win both, win up to $21 million, and then Grandissimo is a whole other thing. Yeah. That entry fee is
a whole other level. We got
$100,000. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a different level for sure. But yeah, we're super excited to head out there, and you can register from now until September 6th. The shutoff time is 2 p.m. Pacific time, so 5 p.m. Eastern. And you can win, like I said, up to $15 million. That's pretty
beautiful
good.
Thing.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, and we had Kyle Motes on, who is from Jacksonville, won 2 years ago, won the Circa Survivor 2 years ago. So it can happen. You can bring it back to Jacksonville. You can bring it back to Duval, the winner.
Right. We've seen a lot of people win lottery tickets. This is potentially probably even easier, to be told. All right, Tom, the question I asked you before the break, I want to ask you now. Yeah. So can you have a really good football player who doesn't love football? Because we just heard Liam Cohen talk about that process. Obviously, they're looking for the Jaguar DNA of you have to love football and you have to be a good player. But can you be a really good player and not love the game?
So, yes, I think you can.
Okay.
And I know you can. But look, are you a professional in that instance, right? So you do care about it enough to be a professional. I don't think anybody can just show up and not be a pro, like not be on time for practice, not try hard in practice, not watch film. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anybody just shows up in the game today, especially. I think everybody's too good. And if they could, it only lasts for a little bit, because then the league figures them out, and they'll be, they'll still be a great player, but they'll figure them out. And if they don't, work on their craft, they don't fix some things, they don't get better at different things, then they'll never be that great player. But most great players love football. You know what I mean? They want to continue to be great. That's what makes them, part of what makes them great. They do have that inner drive to want to be one of the best at their position. So, like
Leonard Fournette, we used to hear he would miss rehab, or he'd miss meetings, or he'd be late to certain things.
That's not being a professional.
Yeah. And so, I think we all thought he was going to be elite in the NFL, especially after that 2017 run.
Yeah, I think that, to me, I think that you can have like a shorter amount of success if you have that, because I think that if you're that natural athlete, or you're just naturally good at the game, which there are guys that have that, where they just don't really have to do the extra work. They come in, at least through college, it usually catches up once they hit the NFL level if they don't have that extra. So I think the length of time that you can be good to great in the NFL, if you don't love it, it lessens your career a lot of times. I also think that when things go wrong, or you start losing, or an injury happens, those are the first players that bow down or bow out, I guess is the word.
Point the finger.
Point the finger. And that's what you can tell that type of player. You can tell the ones that just truly love the game. And I also think there's levels of loving the game. I think there's the players that are completely obsessed and football's their world, and that will always be their pride. Tom Brady, that was Tom Brady. There was a reason, like, it affected his family at the end of things because he loved football so much. And I do think there's that top tier of player who is football obsessed and it's everything they care about. And then I think you could still love the game without being like, it's my entire world and not having another hobby.
Or listen, it's a business. I'm good. They're going to pay me to play football.
Yeah.
Great.
This is my job.
But even those guys that are that great, they're so competitive that they're like, they want to win. I mean, they want to win in what they're doing one-on-one. They want the team to win. So that's why I asked the professional part. So we throw this word around. We don't throw it around, but love, like Coach Liam said, love. It's also just being a pro, like showing up on time, doing your job, making sure you know the playbook, you know the game plan, you're in condition, you're not staying out too late at night and hurt your, you know what I mean? You're doing most of the right things, you know, that kind of thing. That's being a professional. And yeah, in that sense, that's love. Yeah. Like, you got to love it enough to be a pro.
Love.
I mean, you got to love it enough to be a pro, you know what I mean? Or you just don't care at all, which I don't recall ever seeing that.
I know back in the day, and I'm not going to say this is always your day, but there was a time that football players and other sports, you know, they would go out at night, to your point. They'd party and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think that is greatly reduced nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think the amount
social
of money,
media is a large reason it is.
Social media, and also the amount of money that they can make. If they put their head and keep that, you know, their path on the straight and narrow for 4 years and make that second contract, you're talking about life-changing generational wealth for some of these guys.
Yeah.
And making $100+ million, if it's between partying and if it's between just, again, doing the right things for 6 months out of the year, and really it's year round. You can't probably party for 6 months, but does that make sense? Like, I do think there are fewer players that are doing it now.
I don't agree with that. I think they'd maybe do it more privately.
That's right. I think that if social media didn't exist the way it does now, they would still do it that way. A lot of them, okay. I think, because there's cameras everywhere. Nobody can do anything. You can't go get a sandwich without getting filmed nowadays, let alone be at the beach bars. Everybody knew Blake Bortles was at whatever bar he was at every single time he was.
You did.
That's just what it was, and that's the world we live in now. But it wasn't like that. You couldn't just take a picture and post it on your Twitter back in the day. And so they could do that stuff, and then it'd be like, oh, we saw so-and-so at the bar. Did you?
Yeah.
Like, there's no proof.
So, like, guys just from our team, like Brunel and Baselli couldn't just go out in public and go. I mean, they could, if they went out to dinner, they probably, like, talk to the manager. Hey, can you put us in a table away from P? You know, just don't let... You know, that kind of thing. Sure. Where I was with the group, like, we just kind of blended in. Yeah. You know what I mean? I mean, they knew we were players, and it didn't really matter, though. It was just, I don't know. We went out all the time. Yeah. We did. I went out a lot of times during the week. We always, got our work done during the day, but there wasn't the phone. There wasn't the video. There wasn't any chat. If you saw somebody... you could have told your friend, maybe somebody else heard, but maybe the beach heard, but not to where today. I mean, all it takes is one click, and you're like, look at him doing this.
Urban knows that.
Cincinnati.
Urban remembers that.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
I'm not, and I don't care if they want to hang out with their teammates or if they want to go party. Like, I think as long as you
show up and
as long as you're doing what you need to do, it just, to me, because of the increase in that exponential increase in money, I maybe don't hear about it, and like you said, we would see it if it was happening. All right, Taylor Dahl has a tangent on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
1010XL is multimedia. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
You can't buy this kind of media exposure.
1010XL, maximum media exposure.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists returns with their free bumps and bruises evaluation clinics this season. Now with 4 locations, these free injury assessments are open to all schools and athletic programs. Saturday mornings through October from 9 to 10 at Cortex Sports Performance in Ponte Vedra, Preferred PT in Fleming Island, and Brooks Rehab on Centurion Parkway and World Golf Village.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here of Helmets and Heels. It's a sauce kind of football season with Chick-fil-A chicken strips. Each crispy, juicy bite only gets better when you choose your favorite sauces to dip into and create your own flavor combinations. Will it be sriracha and ranch, honey and buffalo, barbecue and Chick-fil-A sauce? With 21 different sauce pairings possible, it's easy to go on a flavor adventure. Order in a 4-count, 10-count, or in a catering tray. Get an order started today in the Chick-fil-A app and dip on into football season.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
The grind for greatness begins before they play the games. Training camp is here, and 1010XL is there. From the practice field straight to you. Ramped up by Roland Leash Plumbing and Green Acres Sporting Goods.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? You have questions? Call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Jacksonville is my hometown, and nobody knows roofing like me. I'm Ronnie, the owner of Brandon Roofing. We handle everything from repairs to full roof replacements, start to finish. We give honest quotes, use quality materials, and clean up like we were never there. We all look at Google reviews, so go ahead and check out ours. We're proud of all our 5-star ratings. I would say we treat you like family, but some people don't like theirs. Go to brandonroofing.com today to schedule your free roof quote.
License number CCC 1328006.
Prosser here again for Chad and Sandy, the local real estate experts you can trust. You might think you have a struggle ahead, but Chad and Sandy always have a solution, and ultimately it ends in a success story. Jacksonville area homes are selling, but getting the right price requires aggressive marketing and proven systems. Hiring the experts who know how to create demand is crucial. You need Chad and Sandy Newman. Need to sell now? Chad and Sandy have instant offers. Fast, easy, stress-free. But, man, they deliver with the promises. The local real estate experts you can trust. Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. No required costly repairs. Pick your move date. No long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Oh, and the proof is out there. Tom and Nicole in Mandarin. I got a new job in Louisiana. We found a new home. Now we'd have to sell fast to avoid paying 2 mortgages. Chad and Sandy did it. Use them today. ChadAndSandy.com. That's ChadAndSandy.com.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Loan Pronto. The Jumbo Shrimps' poor stretch of baseball continues to loom as they fell to the Worcester Red Sox in yesterday's series opener 4-3. Their game tonight will begin at 6:45 as lefty pitcher Robbie Snelling will take the mound for the start. The Jaguars will begin their joint practice with the Miami Dolphins in Miami starting tomorrow. It's 89 degrees at 3:02. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. How long did it take you to pack, Taylor Doll, for our trip to Vegas?
Not too long. I didn't want to overthink it because then that's when things get out of hand and my suitcase gets bigger. So I was just like, Taylor, keep it simple. It's going to be 108 degrees, so you're not going to want a lot of clothes on anyways. Shorts. And then I did pair, you know me, I still love my jeans. And I'm like, we will be inside for the Radio Row thing. So if I get chilly, I have a jean option. And then you text me and you're like, do we need something nicer? I was like, I don't know what we're doing. So I tried to if I overthink it, it just gets out of hand.
I can understand that. Tom, how long did it take you to pack?
Not long at all. Not long at all. Once I got all the laundry together, my wife, of course, helped me with that. But
nice.
Yeah. It's all underwear and socks. That's all. You got to make sure you got enough underwear and socks.
Always.
Everything else, it's going to be hot. So I got shorts, I got pants, I got the college shirts, I got workout stuff. Well, I'm sure we'll be working out and right there.
Taylor
I know I'll be.
I did also pack workout stuff. My guess is Taylor did not.
I brought workout
bathing
stuff. I
suits,
just
that
travel
kind of
in workout stuff. Don't work out in the workout stuff.
Right. But yes, now you at least have
I do.
the option.
So maybe if I feel frisky that day.
Do some lunges down the terminal.
There we go.
We'll
by the way,
film
it takes me forever in a day to pack because I have to think of, I just feel like I have to think of so many different things.
Yeah.
Like I like a speaker for my hotel room to be able to listen to music, not just on my phone. And then an extra wireless charge. Yeah, I'm just one of those people. All right, Taylor Doll, take it away.
Now, Taylor's Tangent, served up by Chick-fil-A on 1010XL.
Side note real quick before I do get to my tangent, I told you guys this on break, but there was some news out of Baltimore today as the Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson left Wednesday's practice early with what appeared to be a right wrist hand injury. About 90 minutes into practice, Jackson got knocked down, stayed for a few plays before heading into the facility, but doctors and trainers left with him, so something to keep an eye on with that. But
for sure.
I saw a very interesting chart breaking down position groups and their success rate of when they're drafted or if they are undrafted. And it breaks down quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tackles, guards, centers, and tight ends. And the success rate of all of the hits from 2017 to 2024, the hit rate of each of those position groups between rounds 1 through 7 and then undrafted guys. It's actually very interesting when you get to some of these. I'll start with the quarterback. The quarterback first round, 64% of the quarterbacks playing right now were drafted in the first round from 2017 to 2024. It drops to 11% in the second round, 7% in the third round, 6% in the fourth round, 1% in the fifth round, 5% in the sixth round, 2% in the seventh, and then 4% undrafted free agents. Yeah. Wow. The running back, this one is super interesting because between the first, second, and third round, the hit rate is 23%, 21, and 22. Mm-hmm. So pretty even spread between those first three rounds when it comes to the running back group. And then it drops down to 13, 5, 3, 3, but then an 11% in the undrafted free agent round. Yeah. So the running back room is fun. Wide receiver.
I feel like James Robinson would have been.
Robinson,
yeah, for sure.
The wide receiver room, the first two rounds is 24 and 23%, and then it drops down to 14% for the third round, and then it's 6, 9, 3, 2, and then 19% for undrafted free agents. So there's more undrafted free agent wide receivers starting in the NFL right now than third round wide receivers starting right now.
So they really do know what they're doing. Wow. Those first rounders, man, they really do play some ball.
I believed it.
Offensive tackle. This one is crazy. So 37% in the first round are offensive tackle starting right now. And then it drops to 14% in the second round. And then it's 9, 5, 7, 2, and 6. And then 20% undrafted free agents for offensive tackles in the NFL. Yeah. So if you're not a first round offensive tackle, you're better just waiting for an undrafted guy. Is pretty much, at least at this point of time.
For longevity anyway.
Yeah. Offensive guard. So it's 18% in the first round, 15 in the second, 21 in the third, 11 in the fourth, and then 5, 7, 3, and then 19% for the undrafted free agents. So pretty much you can find a guard in the first, second, third, fourth, or undrafted. That's what it looks like right now in the NFL. The center position, pretty similar to that. It's 16% for the first round, 20, 11, 11, 7, but 16% sixth round when it comes to the center. We're drafted in the sixth round, and then 16% undrafted free agents. Tight end is 17% in the first round, but then 20% in both the second and third rounds, 13, 11, 5, 2, and then 13 in undrafted free agents. So it's very interesting because if you go into the bulk amount, the quarterbacks, 64% of quarterbacks right now are the first round guys, and 18% are second and third, 14% are 4 through 7, and then only 4% are undrafted free agents. And then when you kind of skew the rest, a lot of them are a lot more even. Running backs, 23% in the first round, 43% of running backs in the NFL are second and third round guys.
Yep.
So I think
because they've changed the value of
the running backs. Yeah. And then the 23% for the 4 through 7. But then wide receiver, 24% of first round, and then 37% are second and third round wide receivers, but then 20%. So just slightly less starting wide receivers are rounds 4 through 7 than a first round wide receivers right now.
I always feel like, the first round's the first round. Those are the elite athletes who can play or you think can play. I always feel like the second and third round and some of the fourth, those are where you get your real football players. And the only reason they're not first rounders is they may be an inch short or
Arms
quarter
a little
inch.
short.
Or they
Their
ran
interview didn't go well.
Yeah, right. Or they ran a bad 40 that day, or they couldn't jump far enough, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But they can play football, and they make up for those lack of measurables for just knowing how to play football, and they play it the right way. I can see guards, because what do you need out of a guard? Got to be athletic enough, but you got to have an attitude. You got to be like that bouncer they call that when the fight breaks out, you're the number one guy, you're the one that's got to go. You got to go break it up, and that's what you want your guard. I always think of Landon Dickerson, the guard for the Eagles. Can you imagine him as a bouncer? Holy cow. He'd be run the other way. He'd be like, I didn't mean it. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Vita Vea.
You know what I mean?
He just looks at your ID and you're like, never mind.
Forget it. I'll walk the other way. But that's a guard, right? And that's what you want out of your guards. So I can see guards, just either undrafted or later in the rounds being, still making it and making a career. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good tangent just to give that kind of big picture perspective of what goes through the general managers and scouts' minds. Like, these scouts are always trying to find that undrafted free agent or that seventh rounder that's going to
be this.
That's going to elevate them to one day be a general manager. Say on my resume, I discovered, I do that with country music stars, right? Like I discovered, and then I give my list of all these people, right? And nobody cares for the record. But if you do it in football, or baseball, certainly, all the sports, you start to keep a track record of that and be like, no, I actually found this guy. All right, we have a special guest on the other side, but first we have another pair of tickets to give away to go see Lee Brice. RJ, hit it.
Girl, you know I've known you forever. How many nights we hung out together? Same little crowd, little bar, little town.
That's right. This is Lee Brice. He's coming alongside Ashley Cook. It will be Saturday, September 13th at the St. Augustine Amphitheater. We love the amp down in St. Aug. Have y'all heard this one, Rumor?
I have.
Oh, yeah.
I like this one
very
too.
popular one as well.
Yep.
If you want to go to that concert on us, be call number 2 at 641-1010. Call number 2, 641-1010. You will win our second pair of tickets, and they are on sale now at AXS.com. So get your tickets. We have one more pair to give away, but we will get it to Sports and Courts on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Tell me why we even trying to deny this feeling. I feel it, don't you feel it too? There's a rumor going round and round and round. What you say we make it true? We make it true.
Gator fans are known to get rowdy.
Especially us.
Hicken and Prosser here.
Join us for a first-of-its-kind podcast, Swamp Session.
Live stream from Voodoo Brewing Company.
Right after every Gator football game on the social channels of 1010XL.
Driven by Atlantic Infinity.
The kids are back in school, so that means football season is upon us. Lauren Brooks here. Now is a great time for Closets by Design to come to your home and create custom storage solutions for your closets, garages, laundry rooms, and entertainment centers. They are coming to our house on Monday, and I could not be more excited to see how they redesign our closet and our laundry room. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off with free installation this month only. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
There's a new game changer in downtown Jacksonville, and it's not the two-way star you might be thinking of. It's Pour Tap Room Jacksonville at Laura and Forsyth. 2 floors, 80 self-pour taps of craft beer, wine and cocktails, and a full liquor bar. Pour Tap Room has all your game day favorites. Wings, burgers, and more. You can even grab a slice or a pie next door at Pizza Dynamo, and they'll bring it right to your table. Pour Tap Room Jacksonville, a beer festival every day.
Playing fantasy football, you might want a little help. Get 1010XL's Fantasy Football Draft Guide with in-depth player bios and the top 32 rankings at every position. Get the guide at 1010XL.com and on all of the 1010XL social channels.
Jaguars football is officially back. Be there as number 2 overall draft pick Travis Hunter, quarterback Trevor Lawrence, and new head coach Liam Cohen take the field for the first time during the 2025 NFL regular season. Secure your seats for when the Jaguars take on the Panthers September 7th by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS, right here in Jacksonville, is the only hair transplant clinic in the Southeast to offer multi-unit hair grafting and the 45-minute PRP treatments. Grow your hair back. Call now for a free in-person evaluation. 904-777-IHRS, 904-777-4477, or visit hairforme.com.
Hacker here. You know, those of you that have listened to me for years realize that I used to do a lot of different weight loss things, a lot of different things that I tried that just never worked for one reason or the other. And then Awaken 180 Weight Loss came along, and I heard Mike Dempsey and Matt Hayes talking about it, and I thought, you know what? What the heck? What do I have to lose? I'm going to give it a try. I had low expectations, to be honest, based on previous history, but I learned very quickly that Awaken 180 Weight Loss is the best weight loss program I was ever on. I dropped 19 pounds my first 2 weeks on Awaken 180 Weight Loss, went on to lose over 100 pounds total. I'm keeping the weight off with the Awaken 180 Weight Loss Maintenance Program. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, without a shadow of a doubt, is the best weight loss program I have ever been on, and the results speak for themselves. If it's time for you to lose some weight like it was for me, go to awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. You can do it. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Reclaim a pain-free life with Rebound Rehab. If you've been injured or simply feeling the effects of an active life, you can rely on Rebound Rehabilitation to get you back in the game. Sitting on the sidelines isn't any fun. Trust Rebound Rehab's team of trained physical therapists to get you back up to speed and feeling full again. Now more convenient than ever. 11 locations to serve you, including new offices in Riverside across from St. Vincent's, Point Meadows, and Middleburg. Just log on to reboundrehab.com to see all they've got to offer.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Taylor Dahl, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. And we have a special guest in studio, Dalia Farah, the legendary Farah and Farah attorneys in this town. Dalia, by the way, my mom and is Eddie your uncle?
Eddie's my dad.
Eddie's your dad. Okay, so my mom and your dad went to high school together.
Oh, small town Jacksonville.
I know.
It's
always
small
a Jacksonville.
town.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me.
Of course, absolutely. You're a big Jags fan, so thank you so much for joining us.
We are. I mean, we've been sponsors and partners with the Jags for as long as I can remember. So excited about the new season.
Alive,
yes. Yeah, their first season was when I was born. So I'm looking forward to all the changes and excited about the season.
So you probably don't remember those early years when the Jaguars were really good. And then by the time you started to remember, it was probably a little hit or miss there.
Right. I remember that 2023 season we had the playoffs, and that was a lot of fun. So looking forward to hopefully another one of those.
2017 and 2022 too. That was really all that we have.
You had some fun there. Yeah. Do you go to all of the games, or do you get to go as much as you can?
Yes. So we go to all the home games.
Okay.
And we do one away game every year.
Oh, fun. Have you already chosen which one you want to attend the away this year?
We're doing Denver.
Oh,
so
fun.
hopefully a snow game. It'll be fun.
Yes. I've never been to Denver, but Lauren loves Denver.
One of my cousins lives in Denver, and one that I'm super close to, and she also loves football. So we are also going to the Denver game.
Oh,
yeah,
there.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. We went to Vegas for the Jags Raiders game last year. We're heading there this year as well. Our show is, and then Denver. I'm hoping it's not a snow game. I'm a Florida girl, right? But as you are, but yeah, that will be fun if it is snowing. I just will feel bad for our players that are born and raised in Jacksonville.
Right.
They don't know what snow is.
I just think it'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be fun. Yeah,
it's pretty.
So, Dalia, tell people your title and kind of what you do, and then we'll get into the lawsuit that Jon Gruden won recently.
Yeah, so I am an attorney at Farah, and I do a couple different roles. And right now, I'm in charge of our trucking division.
Okay.
So when one of those accidents come in, I'm very involved and monitor and supervise that team.
Okay, so that's kind of, I'm sure, emotional work, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of times those are big injury cases, and you're working with the families, but we do what we can to help them.
Well, and y'all obviously do a great job because that's why you've been around for a long time. But let's get it to that lawsuit with Jon Gruden. So take us through. I feel like it's crazy to think that anyone can win anything against an NFL team these days. Yeah, the NFL just seems too powerful.
And this has been going on since 2021. So keep that in mind too. And the decision is interesting because nothing has been determined on the merits itself.
Okay.
This is purely a decision as to what process they're going to use moving forward. So Gruden had sued the NFL, and the NFL said, no, you got to move this to arbitration, which is a different type of process than our public courts.
Right.
And
people who get divorced are more familiar probably with arbitration than people who've never had to do that.
Right. And arbitration is different because there's different procedural rules, there's different evidentiary rules. And so this is important because now Gruden will go through our public courts, and, confidentiality won't apply like it would in arbitration under the NFL. And we'll kind of get to see behind the scenes more than if there was an arbitration.
Okay. That's very interesting.
And with that, too, I think usually the NFL would also designate that arbitrator, too, which would probably not work in his favor.
Exactly.
In that sense.
Right. So the way the NFL bylaws are in is that the commissioner is actually the arbitrator.
Oh.
And in Gruden's case, the commissioner is defendant. So as you can imagine, that's super.
We're going to call that the tangled web of the law.
Yes, absolutely. So the NFL, the Nevada Supreme Court did side with Gruden in saying, hey, this isn't fair. This contract isn't written in a way which makes sense and is very one-sided.
So do people sign contracts that allow for Roger Goodell, the commissioner, to also be the arbitrator?
Yes. So
you wouldn't want that though, right?
Right. And that's the NFL bylaws and arbitration agreement and part of their bylaws in the employment contract. But they were saying that Gruden didn't have to comply with that anymore because he was no longer an employee. And then also, too, the judge said that this whole arbitration agreement was unfair. So they deemed it invalid. And I anticipate that a lot of similar, if other claimants like Gruden may be making arguments saying that this doesn't apply to me anymore because it's unfair.
I see.
Take us back a little bit because the beginning of this was the leaked emails, and this is where all of this is coming from. He's suing the NFL over the leaked emails. What is he trying to? What's his end goal out of this? Do you know? And that sense of what Jon Gruden would get out of this type of lawsuit?
It'd be money.
Yeah,
because it's a civil action, so monetary relief.
Yeah.
So when you're born into the Farah family, do you know that you're going to be an attorney from the time that you're little?
Yeah, you just grow up in a suit, ready to hit the courtroom. No, I mean, in the back of my mind, it was always, maybe I'll be a lawyer. And I got to see my dad and uncle and the practice they grew and how they are really able to help people and decide to follow that path as well.
I think it's awesome, especially because I think it's one of those companies that you can meet anyone who's from Jacksonville or not from Jacksonville and say Farah, and they know exactly what you guys do. Like, I think you've done such a good job, obviously on the legal side, but also in your marketing side too, that literally I don't think you could walk down the street and be like, do you know what Farah is? And someone would say no.
Yeah. They probably know the phone number, honestly. That's a good thing to have.
I know. We had a whole discussion in our marketing department as to, do people use phone numbers anymore? Because we're just so used to doing Google.
The Google the name. Yeah.
We have those conversations with some of our clients too. Like, I would push the website over the phone number these days. Have you represented anyone super famous like Jon Gruden in the past?
Unfortunately, not yet. But maybe one day.
Maybe that ends up being a good thing.
Yeah.
All right. Your favorite player on this Jaguars team?
I'm hoping for Trevor Lawrence to have a great season. And, looking forward to all the changes that we've made on the player side to help support him as well.
I feel like Trevor Lawrence and Travis Hunter are probably the two easy answers. Certainly Brian Thomas
easy to
Jr.,
cheer
Josh
for, too.
Hines Allen.
And that's when you have personality, especially the Travis Hunter personality, but they're just quarterback of a team. You want him to be your favorite player, technically.
Right. He's like kind of the face of the team. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's hope that this team does as well as you guys do in the courtroom. Let's hope that this team does that.
Let's get some wins.
Yeah, on the field this year. But
I'm
Dalia,
optimistic.
Good. I'm glad. We're going to actually talk about why we're optimistic about this team probably on Friday and next week as well. Well, thank you so much for coming in to hang out with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. And we'll have you on once a month to talk all things legal and sports, how those two things intertwine. So thank you.
I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. We got more to do on the other side. It is 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Hey guys, Taylor Dahl here of Helmets and Heels. It's a sauce kind of football season with Chick-fil-A chicken strips. Each crispy, juicy bite only gets better when you choose your favorite sauces to dip into and create your own flavor combinations. Will it be sriracha and ranch, honey and buffalo, barbecue, and Chick-fil-A sauce? With 21 different sauce pairings possible, it's easy to go on a flavor adventure. Order in a 4-count, 10-count, or in a catering tray. Get an order started today in the Chick-fil-A app and dip on into football season.
60 days from now, you'll be one of these two guys. The first guy, sluggish, foggy, and feeling like he just can't keep up like he used to. The second guy, driven, strong, and confident. Why? Male Excel's breakthrough microdosing protocol, a daily low-dose testosterone. You don't have to be the first guy anymore. Be the second guy. Take the same steps he took. Try MaleExcel.com. 100,000 men chose wisely. Your move.
The experts at AMCO have been fixing cars for almost 60 years. Over that time, they've gotten more complex than ever. That's why our techs undergo rigorous training and certifications, so they can fix anything, including the most complicated repairs that come with some of the latest technologies. After 60 years, there's nothing we haven't seen or fixed. It's how we know cars inside and out.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Family owned and operated in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine, and St. Mary's, Georgia.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
Come to Monahan Jewelers store-wide 40 to 50% off sale going on now for a very limited time. Everything on display is 40 to 50% off at Monahan Jewelers. We've bought so much brand new jewelry, we need to make room for it. Diamond jewelry, engagement semi-mounts, colored gemstones, even gold chains. Right now, everything on display at Monahan Jewelers is 40 to 50% off. Jewelry's going quick, so come to Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Your AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Not going to concerts on Saturday nights in football season because I'm watching college football. I feel like I might have to break that for the Lee Brice. This is Hard to Love. He's another great song.
Yeah. You can pull your phone up and just watch the game and watch him.
You're right. Back in in 2020 when John Party played here and it was like the only show he played in the parking lot of Everbank Stadium. we had our phone out to watch football. Florida had already lost to Texas A&M, so I didn't have to watch my team. But Georgia was playing and they won. Good for them. All right, so if you want to win this final pair of tickets that we have for you to go see Lee Brice alongside Ashley Cook on Saturday, September 13th at the Amp in St. Augustine, be caller number 1, the fastest dialer for this Brooks Beats. You win the tickets. Again, if you did not win them today, we are so sorry, but you can buy yours online at AXS.com. And like we said, every seat in the Amp is a good
phenomenal
seat.
Yeah.
I've stood in the pit, and then I've been all the way up to the very tip top. I think it's the 300s section, and saw Hank Williams Jr. up there. Fantastic. Like you said, there's a breeze.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I will tell you, there's like the best thing. There's a lot of different bars also. So the lines are never too crazy anywhere because they have so many different ways. This is for regular beverages and just snacks if you need it, but also obviously the alcoholic beverages if you partake.
If you decide to partake. All right. I want to get it to the Jaguars. We did some stock up, stock down. Taylor referenced this yesterday. So I wanted to review, Tom, because we didn't have you when we were doing this, which was before training camp began.
Okay.
So let's go through our stock up and our stock down players. For me, Tom, my stock up, and this was the completion again of the off-season program before training camp, Dyami Brown, the wide receiver, because I thought he's shown throughout those. He's also, I think, been really good in training camp. I had running back Travis Etienne, and that was, of course, because Liam Cohen stood at the podium and said, I've seen the rumors that we're getting rid of him. We are absolutely not getting rid of him. I also think he's looked good in both OTA's minicamp and, of course, now training camp in the preseason. Safety Andrew Wingard. I don't think that one even needs a conversation. Some people might have thought that he was just going to be a special teams guy. Now it looks like he might be the starting free safety. And then I had cornerbacks, Jordan Lewis, who, again, I think has been a stud and definitely is the nickel corner. And then I had Tyson Campbell and Buster Brown. Those I obviously now would not be able to have on my list because of injury, but at the time looked really good. Linebacker Devin Lloyd, because even though they didn't pick up his fifth-year option, I think that they have appreciated all the effort he's put into it, and he's learned a lot at that linebacker position. Defensive lineman Mason Smith. Obviously an issue now that this defensive tackle has been hurt. We haven't been able to see a lot of him. And then finally, edge Emmanuel Ogbah. I thought that he's a guy that would get probably 5 or 6 sacks, but now I start to wonder if that'll be the case with him because you do have a Gardeck now coming in. You have the safety blitzes, and then certainly now adding Colin Saunders to that interior of the defensive line too. But those were some of my guys that at the time were stock up. Taylor?
I was trying to remember my stock ups, honestly, because all I remember are my stock downs.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll get to stock down.
Let me try and find it. But I remember Jordan Jefferson was a stock down for me.
Okay.
And Savage was a stock down for me. Muma was a stock down for me. Luke Fortner was a stock down for me. And most of mine I was basing off of guys that I felt like because of free agency or the draft, their spot was not guaranteed anymore. Yeah.
And so Savage is probably one of the only ones that you had stocked down that I definitely think is making the roster.
Yeah, but I didn't think he was going to start. And a lot of people I think had it slotted it was going to be like Murray and Savage. And I thought because of Ransaw, granted it wasn't because of Ransaw, it's in my eyes Dewey that's kind of taken over that spot. And we'll see. We don't know. The safety room right now on the depth chart is technically or. So we don't really know what they're thinking, even though we can kind of guess. So I remember those were my main stock downs. Javon Foster was another stock down for me.
Yeah.
And that looks like that's working. I'm going to try discuss those, and I'm going to try and find my stock ups.
My stock downs were Anton Harrison because of the comments Liam Cohen made about when he wants to go, he'll go. Javon Foster as well. I have him, and I'm not sure he makes this team. And then I have one stock down that I don't think belongs, and that's Yasir Abdullah. Now I think he is definitely on this team. So, to this point, obviously now you have training camp and 2 preseason games under your belt to evaluate, but what are your thoughts on that?
I think number one stock up is Parker Washington.
Yes.
He has come to play, man. He, I just love the fact that he works on his craft. I mean, year 1 to year 2, year 2 to year 3, he's just looking like he loves football, and he's working on his game.
Agreed.
He's gotten quicker, he's faster, he's catching the tough catches, he's getting open. I think he's definitely stock up. Ezra Cleveland is stock up for me. I think he's answered the bell. He's been very physical. You can tell that he's got a little edge to him. So he's a stock up for me. Of course, Edoga, before the injury, he was definitely stock up. He came in here and said, I don't care who's in front of me, who's on the line. I'm going to show that I can play. Who else would I have as a stock up? Dyami. Dyami's kind of fallen off a little bit as of late, but I'd agree. He's had a great offseason, and he's going to be a great weapon for Trevor. Oh, I stock up. Brenton Strange, man. He's a beast. I love him. I like that kid. He plays the game the right way, man. He is not afraid to get up in there. He's not afraid of confrontation. He's got some wiggle. He'll run you over. He's good at running. He's fast enough. He can catch a rock. I think he's definitely a stock up. Stock
Trevor?
Down. What's that?
Would you put Trevor in stock up?
Yeah, put Trevor stock up. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Good call. Yeah, I overlooked number 16, but shouldn't have. Definitely stock up for him. Stock down will be Tyson, just because the last time we saw him against Pittsburgh, he did not have a good outing. I expect him to bounce back, but if we're talking about the here and now, he would be one of my guys on the stock down. I think Walker Little was stock down. He's not stock up.
He's somewhere in the middle.
But he's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fortner, for sure, now the stock.
Yeah,
stock
Fortner.
up for the Saints.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Stock up Jonah Monheim, forgetting that deal. It's going to be interesting, how this whole thing plays out. We were talking off air about, even running back. Who's your starter? Who's your, I can't wait to, it seems like it's ETN, but it's, Tank, and where's Tootin fit in?
They love him. They call him Q. And I feel like if you have a nickname as a rookie, not drafted in one of the top few rounds, then you are making your presence known, which we already know he has an aggressiveness.
Nicknames are earned, not given. Yeah, I love
They
that.
added the Kevin Harris guy, by the way, from South Carolina. I have a lot of my family lives in South Carolina and went to, my stepbrother and sister both went to South Carolina, and they were like, oh, we love Kevin Harris. I was like, okay, bad news, though. There's 5 other running backs in front of him right now. So I'm not sure what exactly that means. I think it's maybe a body. But I do think that I want to say I had ETN on my stock up. And the reason for that was Liam Cohen and the way that he play calls. And I think that I said, which we've talked a ton about, Tommy, those perimeter runs and just getting the ball in his hands when it comes to those receiving yards too with ETN, which we've seen. So I do, but because Tank has done just as well and Tootin's done just as well, it's hard to see, really how that's all panned out of whether it's a stock up. It's not, it's down, but it's just kind of there of what exactly it's going to look like.
I think Liam Cohen's stock up, and I just like the way he handled things as of late, and I think he sent a message, and the message was well received. And now we go to Miami, and let's see how that all shakes down. Hopefully they have a great competitive practice, tomorrow, and then, whoever's going to play over the weekend, they come out with looking good and
alignment, assignment, and please nobody get hurt.
Yeah, can't get hurt.
I thought no one had gotten hurt in the first preseason game, and then we found out Tyson had, and then I thought no one got hurt in the second preseason game because Josh Cephas came back in. But if you missed it earlier today in our first segment, we let you know that the Jaguars did waive him with an injury designation, Josh Cephas, the receiver. So I do think that when people say guys do get hurt, you just don't see it. It's but I thought we would always see the injuries happen. And to your point earlier, also Travis Hunter as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think sometimes, especially when they try to play through them, you think they're okay. If you see them go down for a little bit, but then they're still out there, we assume they're okay. But sometimes they're not. I know I had Eric Armstead as my stock up because I was like, okay, they're going to move him back to the inside and we're going to see this. Obviously, we haven't really been able to see much, if anything, of that. How would you guys? What about when it comes to guys like a Tyler Lacey or somebody like that who's had a lot more playing time because of the injuries? Would you put them?
I would say stock up because he's gotten his opportunities because of the lack of playing time for Mason Smith and Eric Armstead. I don't know that he's necessarily played great with those opportunities, so I guess stock up might be too strong.
I would say down or because they wouldn't make the Saunders trade. There's a reason for that. Maybe it's DM, maybe it's Lacey, maybe it's a combination, but they felt like they had to upgrade that nose, so I would say he's probably stocked down.
I feel like an Antonio Johnson's an up with the way that his camp's been. Not saying he's going to start, but just in the way, I mean, he still has an or. I don't believe that it's Eric Murray or him, but they do have that on the depth chart at this point.
Yeah, it's Murray and Wingard, right? I mean,
that's how I
think
feel.
it is.
That's how
I think it is. And
if it's
deserved.
if it's not that, that'll surprise me. And I would have loved to see Caleb Bransaw. I've said this before.
Me too.
Caleb Bransaw throughout training camp and the preseason to see how quickly he can make that switch from corner to safety, how vocal he is in the communication side of things. Would you say stock up for Anthony Campanile, or is that going too strong because the first preseason game, the defense looked terrible?
Well, he's better than down. He's better than down. He brought it back a little bit. Yeah, he's kind of, You know, the arrow goes both ways, like the opposite ways from each other. It's like in there somewhere.
Not a stock girl, not a spread.
Not a stock. My grandma, that's what she was a stock. She's retired now, but she was a stockbroker her whole entire life. So I would go to work with her all the time as a kid, and I remember like watching all of them and all of their stuff, and like all stock markets on all day long, and it's like Spanish watching if you don't understand the stock market. But it's her thing, and she loves it, and that's what she does. But I would go to work and pretend like I'd be on the computer beside her, like answering phone calls, pretending I knew what I was talking about, and I did not. So
that's so Wolf on Wall Street.
Oh yeah.
I remember as a kid in 8th grade, we went to the Merc. And they had the paper, and we were in the pit. My friend's dad was like, I guess, a stockbroker, and they'd have this little paper they'd write and throw it up in the air. I mean, I don't know what the hell they were doing, but they're doing all these trades. It's like all this stuff.
That's going to be us in Vegas.
Wow. Yeah. Hopefully with our winnings.
Exactly.
Throwing them up in the air.
That's right. All right, time now for today's Terminix Pest of the Day. As always, brought to you by the good people at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. That's TERMINIX.com. They can take care of your front yard and backyard. If you have a mosquito issue, they will come make sure that you don't have any wasp issues. Certainly, we used to have an ant issue. We have no ant issues anymore. They take care of Everbank Stadium, ViStar Ballpark, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, all of your favorite event venues around town, which, by the way, we had someone on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures ask if the dad bods are playing at the Sphere.
Oh, man.
That'd be pretty cool, though.
I love that question. When I say event venues, that's immediately what I think as we're headed to Vegas. But yeah, last night, if you weren't paying attention, it's because the game was delayed due to weather, but the Rays were playing host to the Yankees. And the final score was Yankees 13, Rays 3. Not an ideal pitching performance, to say the least. But here's the thing. The Rays traded Jose Caballero to the Yankees. He hit 2 home runs for the Rays in the entire season, right? When they started in April and until they traded him before the trade deadline in July. He hit 2 home runs last night in his first return to Steinbrenner Field. So I feel like he's just like, take that. And the Rays usually make good trades. Yeah. And again, he'd only hit 2 home runs all season.
No, right.
But he hit 2 last night, as did Stanton, and Judge, I think, only hit 1, and Cody Bellinger. But that was his first career multi-home run game, and it happened right in front of the team that he used to play for in the Steinbrenner Field where he used to play.
Well, maybe in the same light we'll get Colin Saunders this year because he had 2 sacks last year all year. Maybe he'll have that week 1 against the Panthers.
That's Carolina. Yeah, absolutely.
So the Yankees hit 9 home runs last night.
Wow.
9. And that's the second time this season they hit 9. Now, this is going to feel like a long time ago. They hit 9 against the Brewers. They won 20-9. Do you remember that? Like way back
I do
earlier
remember
this season?
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think
there was that week where I think it was like that one week where everybody was scoring like 15, 16, 18, 20. And we're like, what is
right? What is happening? And the Yankees bats that were different. And everything.
The funky bats.
Yeah. And but that was back when the Brewers were losing. So that's how long ago that
winning.
was.
But the Cubs have beat them 2 in a row. So
well, congratulations to you, Cubs.
There you go.
That's one thing Tom's going to love about Circa Resort and Casino, the sports book. Whether you're at Stadium Swim, where it's outdoors, or you're inside, the sports book is unbelievable.
Can't wait.
I do wish we had like football on, but the Cubs will be on. So.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be, by the way, my lead guitarist just texted. He said, Sphere, LOL. We're just trying to make the halftime show at Everbank.
Hey, we can work work on that.
We can get that out.
Yeah, let's pull some
Do that.
strings around here. We've got one segment to go. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Big Chief Tire makes auto care more affordable with 6-month financing through the CFNA credit card. Frank Frangie here. Plus, get $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. Whether you need new tires, brake service, or general repairs, their expert technicians have you covered. With no interest for 6 months, now's the perfect time to take care of your vehicle. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to apply today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family secret, Dandy's never frozen, always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses, no dry crumbly subs here, only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little dude with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand, a quality sandwich. So do what I do and stop in at a Daly's and make yours a dandy today.
Lauren Brooks here from my friends at Terminix. When roaches move into your home or business, you want them out and fast. At Terminix, they don't just get rid of the roaches, they evict them, and they work to prevent them from coming back. Because no one likes an uninvited pest. When roaches show up, so does Terminix. So don't live with a roach problem. I certainly don't. Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com.
Tailgaters parking season passes are on sale now. Secure your Jaguar season parking today. Enjoy indoor restrooms, a full-service bar and grill, access 4 hours before kickoff. Visit tailgatersparking.com and book your space today.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here. You've heard me talking about Pella Windows and Doors. With great ratings and expert reviews, you know they're high quality and energy efficient products. So what's your next step? Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or just stop by the Pella showroom on Phillips Highway. Their professional design consultants will guide you through your entire project from start to finish. And that's the quality and service you can expect from Pella Windows and Doors.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
We're cooling down before we head to Vegas shortly.
I mean, that's the only way that you go is you cool down, you pray if you're the praying type, and when you're on the plane, and you breathe in, you breathe out, and then you relax. And then by the time we get there tomorrow, we will be calling in. Tom's going to join XL Primetime tomorrow as we are live from Radio Row. And then I'll call into the Frangie Show. Taylor will have all your social content. So, of course, follow us on all of our social channels. And we will bring you all the cool stuff. And then on Friday, we'll do our show from 2 to 4 Eastern, of course, from there in Vegas. And Derek Stevens, the owner of Circa, is going to join us at 2:15. So certainly looking forward to chatting with him. He joined us last year when we were in Vegas ahead of Jags Raiders. He's fantastic. Yeah. And then Jeff Loggeman will also join us, and he'll join us at 3 Eastern. I keep saying Eastern in case you're wondering because our times are Pacific out there. But for the listening audience, Eastern. And Logs is going to break down everything that he sees tomorrow at the Jags joint practice with the Dolphins. So we have a lot to do over the next few days.
Oh, yeah. I love talking to Logs love talking ball with Logs. He's the best.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so much fun.
And he loves joining our show as well.
That's nice. That's good to hear.
What are you wanting to hear coming out of this joint practice?
That we whooped their ass.
Yeah.
Violence?
That was just physical.
I don't think it's going to be like that, though. That's the problem.
Oh, no, I think it is.
I will
the
say
Jags wanted it that way.
Yeah.
I will say the Bears in Miami had theirs, and it was super physical. It was, they complained a little bit, but the Bears pushed them and made it physical, and the players kind of came back at them. So if the Jags are physical, then the Miami players will be physical back. The Jags just kind of have to be the ones to push them a little bit.
Want to know that we're the clear-cut winner of the day, whatever that means. Line of scrimmage, in the passing game, the running game, our defense stood out. You know what I mean? Clearly, if we played a game 1 versus 1, you'd feel confident that our team would win. And it may not be super duper physical, but it's going to be physical, more physical than they're used to, aside from a game, right? Because it's going to be, it'll get heated. There's no doubt it'll get heated, and it should.
Fights? Are you thinking
maybe, but it'll get physical. The one guy will go a little extra, and then next thing you know, it'll be a domino effect, and, they're getting after it, but that's okay. That gets you ready for the season. Hopefully that physicality shows through week 1 because, look, Carolina, we probably think it's a victory, but they're going to come trying to smack us, smack us in the mouth. They're going to come with their guys. They got plenty of guys. You talk about stopping the run. That Hubbard guy's phenomenal. He can really run for Carolina if you can't stop him. So we'll see. I do want to hear about the new acquisition that he's doing his job and he looks really good.
Colin Saunders?
Yeah, that he's fit right in. He looks great. Him and Eric or him and Mason or him and whoever really doing work against the Miami O-line.
Yeah, we'll be
Are you
interesting.
expecting them to be
I was
out
gonna
there?
say, if
like
Eric,
Mason and Eric,
Yeah. I don't know. I hope so, yeah.
I think so.
Obviously, health.
Yeah.
If you can, then you should.
Mason's cleared, so he should be.
You should be there.
Like, it's go time for him. And you may not want to, throw him out to the dogs the whole time, but, just get him in there and get some work, some real live work or close to it. And then maybe not play him in the game. It all depends how they do in that practice, and let the guys that are truly battling out for spots, let them have their time to shine. All the vets or all the guys that are going to make the team, they'll be cheering them on and hoping that they do great. And they all know what's coming, and that sucks because you do get to become friends with guys. And then, but they're probably not going to be there, or guys aren't going to be there. And
do you
it's
cry?
tough. You don't cry, but you feel bad, I mean, I cried when I was cut.
That's what I'm saying. The guys that get cut cry. Like, I wonder.
Yeah, it's sad. It's emotional. I teared up when I got cut by the Saints. I thought I was in, and I didn't end up making it. And, it's probably the first time I never made a team, my whole life. So
absolutely.
that's like pretty challenging.
There's a pride thing there.
Yeah. And it's your dream. But at the end of the day, look, if this is your first try, I'll tell you the best advice I ever got, and I know Taylor will know this name. Tommy Waddle was a phenomenal wide receiver for Boston College. He ended up playing for the Bears for like 9 years. And he used to come into our weight room during the off season. And I'll never forget, we're still friends. He's doing great up in Chicago.
There,
he's got a great show up there, him and Sylvie. And we're in the weight room, and he said, Tommy, he's like, if you're going to try out for the NFL and you don't get drafted, it doesn't work out for you, he goes, you got to give it 3 tries. If you don't make it on your 3rd try, then, at least you've given it your all and you've exhausted everything. It's time to move on.
Yeah.
And it rang true for me because the Jags were my 3rd try. And I went in like, this is it. Like, if I don't make it, I'm done. I'm not trying again. I'm done. It's over, right? And it was a great bit of advice. So the guys that do get cut, like, it's not over yet. And now you got other leagues. Like back then, you didn't have anything. You got cut. And you went to go
I don't
get
know
a
the
job.
names of the other leagues, but
some already have been like drafted by those leagues and stuff. So with all, the way that all that works, that's the mindset of the college players now. Though 3 tries, they get to go to 3.
5 tries or 7. If you're the quarterback from Shuck, you had 7 college seasons. Shameful.
Yeah, this guy did not have 7 college seasons.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Just stretch that degree out 7 years.
I would have loved the 7th year of college.
People are surprised Arch Manning says he's staying, or, the grandfather, at least Arch, said he's staying. Archie, you would have stayed, like we all would have, if we were especially the quarterback in college
particularly
football.
making $5 million a year.
Yeah.
I mean, Arch Manning, stay.
Yes.
Stay as long as you can. But yeah, we'll see. That was interesting that Arch was, kind of saying, hang on, I may decide to leave.
Right.
But boy, that quarterback class, I was looking at Field Yates's mock draft, and he has like 6 going in the first 16.
Wow.
And 5 in the first 11.
Wow.
And the first 3 picks are quarterbacks, so it'll be a great year. It's why for guys like Anthony Richardson, man, it's going to be tough, like getting that second chance elsewhere, because there's just such a churn of new talent coming into the league. So anyway, it's we got a lot to get to coming up on the Frangie Show. We'll break down Jaguars practice. Not much, in terms of new stuff, but it was good seeing the team work. I had a chance to catch up with Mason Smith.
Nice.
You were looking up in that interview, I noticed.
Boy, he's big. He's not. Mason is a big guy. I would say the biggest Jaguars I've interviewed would be Calais Campbell. Jeremy Parnell was very tall. Big
and
guy.
Scary.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Mason Smith is right there. Well, he's probably in the top 5 in terms of physically imposing athletes that they've had since I've been covering them. But yeah, he's a super nice kid, and I think he's an ascending player. He now has enough time that hopefully he'll be maybe not 100% like game ready, but very close by the time Carolina comes in. So I'm excited about him. So I had fun catching up with him. So all that coming up on the Frangie Show, Sports and Courts, and we'll get into some Gators and Knowles as well.
And any recommendations for us in Vegas, since you were there not too long ago?
Yeah, I mean, you guys have a great time. I hope you have a wonderful trip, and we'll certainly look forward to talking with you guys while you're out there. I loved it all. I mean, I'd never been, and it was sort of, I thought, all just awesome. We stayed at Aria, but it was fun. Really, I didn't have like a bad experience. The Sphere was in the Bellagio, which was unbelievable. So I'm sure you guys will have a ball no matter where you end up. So have fun.
Thank you, Hayes.
All right. Take care.
Just trying to remember where we end up.
But yeah,
that will be the key.
We do appreciate our friends at Circa Resort and Casino. We are heading there. We also appreciate Dalia Farah for joining us today to talk all things sports and courts. That'll do it for us today. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you on Friday live from Vegas. For RJ Saunders, for Taylor Dahl, for Tom McManus, I'm Lauren Brooks. Don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show comes up next.
Gonna walk